At Slingshot Group, we have the unique privilege of coming alongside churches of all shapes, all sizes, all around the country who are going through a season of transition or succession. And let's face it, when we're hiring staff members who are youth or children's or worship, it's super important. But when we start stepping into senior leadership transitions, we just have to get this right. So much hangs in the balance. The story of Christ Fellowship Miami is one of those churches we were able to come alongside who got it right.
So I got to Miami 25 years ago, and I got to tell you, when I got here, it was a little bit scary because I found, number one, that pastors were actually fleeing the city. And I remember the Lord just put my heart at ease, and He said, Rick, I need somebody to stay here and love this city. Don't be like Jonah. Don't hate these people. Don't run from them. I need you to stay here and love them. And God revealed to me that He had not given up on this city. In fact, God revealed to me that He had a vision for Miami. And He put that vision in my heart, and I caught the vision. And so Christ Fellowship just took off and began to grow, and I sort of just hung on and watched what God would do. It was pretty amazing. But then there came this point where I don't know what happened. I started having problems physically. I had a heart attack, and then finally I got stage 3 colon cancer. And I need to be thinking about getting out of the way because I'm beat up from the chemo, and I don't think I can continue to lead this church, but I can't lead it to the next chapter. I need to get out of the way.
And that's where we reached out to Slingshot and said, this is probably a great time to really put a process in place to really just hold us accountable as a team, as a church, to really dig deeper.
The mistake that a lot of churches make is in a pastoral succession is they try to do it all on their own without getting outside expertise from people who have walked churches many times through a succession process.
At Slingshot Group, when we are working with churches in succession and search seasons, actually about half of the time the church has an internal candidate. Sometimes it's known right up front, and other times it's several months later. In the instance of Christ Fellowship, we had a great internal candidate named Omar. And part of my job was to come in and really help the church leadership have confidence and dexterity in making a decision about an internal candidate being the next senior leader. So I came in and did several days on site with them, spent time with Rick, the current lead pastor, spent time with Omar and his wife, went to staff meetings, and then I ended up writing up a huge 10, 12-page report on Omar, putting together a digital portfolio on him, and benchmarking Omar in a national search against dozens and dozens and dozens of other candidates around the country who could also do this job. And by the time I gave back that report to the leadership at Christ Fellowship, it was pretty obvious that we had found our guy.
It became so apparent that our internal candidate was our candidate to lead us into the next season. We passed the baton to Rick's successor, Pastor Omar Goritli.
I believe the leadership team that's in process right now, not just Pastor Omar, but the leadership team around him is the best the church has ever had. And just watching him carry this church through COVID, I never could have done that. And he did such an amazing job to lead, to shine the light. Everybody was able to follow him.
God has been faithful for over a century at this church. And so if you think about it, this church has gone through a lot. But the Lord has remained very faithful. And it's taught me that in the future, it doesn't matter what comes down the way, that we have a God who's faithful, who's always gonna shepherd us, so we just need to trust Him. And as leaders, we have the big responsibility of making the best decision for our church. But I think what's great about Slingshot is that, they're an organization that we trust, but that we know that they can come out from an outside perspective to give wise counsel from a fresh perspective I think always going to Slingshot it's not only a good decision, it's the wisest decision. It's to always have that person with you, that group with you that helps you think through that.
When it comes to senior leader transition, succession, there are all kinds of tactical things that we need to do. But through all of that, it's emotional. And when we get to the end of all of the emotion and of all of the principles, we always find that God is faithful to His church, that He has a plan to continue to grow it into a new season of leadership, and the best days can still be ahead.